The warning signs were already there in the sky as we drove the 400 kilometres from Sydney to Tamworth for the annual Country Music Festival. New South Wales was still in the grip of a 6-year drought, and it was easy to dismiss the stormy sky with the saying, "It's all bark and no bite." But there is also another saying, "It never rains but it pours." When we reached Tamworth, we joined our motorhome club members in the special area set aside for us. The ominous sky still persisted, however, and gave us a great light show that night. At 6:30 the next morning, we were rudely awakened by a call over the PA system informing us that an immediate evacuation of the area had been ordered by the emergency services. Not really believing that we were in any danger, we did exactly as we were told anyway and moved out immediately. A wise decision, as we later found out. The emergency services people have quite a task ahead of them as they go round the camping area, waking up people and helping them to move out. In a very short time, the Peel River, seen here in the background, will break its banks and flood this entire area to a depth of about 1 metre. Unfortunately, the only way out intersects the main highway and progress is at first slow. We have been directed to the grounds of the entertainment centre, where it is hoped that there are enough facilities to accommodate the crowd of over 3,000 fleeing campers.
We've just been evacuated. The river has risen 6 feet in an hour and a half.
After our rather belated breakfast, we decide to travel to nearby Armidale for the night, as we can foresee problems of overcrowding here at the evacuation centre. Besides, with this much water about, it would be a good time to check out the Apsley Falls. On our last visit, the falls were like this. Today, however, they are quite different. After spending the night in Armidale, we learnt that the floodwaters had inundated the camping grounds and that they would be closed for the next 3 days. When we returned, we asked some of the campers about their experiences.
SES got people moving very well. It was neat and orderly, just a little slow perhaps, so that there were some campers who were caught. The water came down extraordinarily quickly. Floating garbages, a big floating fridge, people's boots, handbags, bits of tents, all sorts of interesting things. So people, as the motorhomes were going out, there were lots of people offering help, but we were not allowed to stop. So you'd open your window, people had stuffed their sleeping bags in, shoes, personal belongings, and everybody would say, "We'll meet you further up the road there." And everybody seemed to be pretty easygoing about that. We didn't lose anybody, that was the big thing. They may have lost their fridges, but everybody is okay.
Before the floods was the we had a mini cyclone, which we nearly got blown away and washed away. Then it rained for about 48 hours it rained for. Then we got flooded out. Then we were evacuated. Then we come back after 3 days and then we had all the dust around. Now it's forecast for hailstones this afternoon, so there's not much left. But we're still laughing.
Well, I was here for the flood year I got towed out. I was up to my crutch in drinking water and they towed me out. And that's not good, is it? But you keep coming back every year. It's either hot or it's either flooding or it's muddy. You still come back to Tamworth.
Superloos floating down. All the whirly bins were floating around. Lucky more people never got trapped in what they did, because they come around about 6:30 to let us know to evacuate. And about half an hour after that, the buses banks just down the road here a little bit, and the water come around this way and come in this way. And you can just see it come up your legs. That quick.
Here I was awake looking out the windows, watching the water, and the water sneaking up around the tent just across from us, and waiting for him to come home. And these two girls across the road from us, they came home, and I don't know how much alcohol they consumed, but they definitely had a good night. And they looked at their tent, which was totally surrounded in water, and went, "Oh my dear," that's a nice way of putting it, and got out another bottle of bourbon and went rolling around in the water, drinking their bourbon. And laugh, I've never heard laughter like it. Anyway, when it came a little bit later on and the SES told us it's time we should really go, they went, "Oh dear," and they had a bit of a shock and a bit of a sudden sobering up to get out.
We got woken up about 6 o'clock in the morning, got told to evacuate. I got up my boxer shorts and that was it. And we didn't have a car to get transported, so I had to organise someone, and me and Pete had to go from here to the racecourse on the back of the trailer with just our boxer shorts on. And yeah, so it was pretty shocking actually.
It got a bit hairy there for a little while. I went for a walk down to the loos because we weren't sure how long it'd be before we'd find one again, because we didn't know where we were going. And by the time I got back, the water was up to my knees. There was the road I'd walked across didn't exist anymore.
And the rain came down over Tamworth town. Yeah, the rain came down on the hills so brown. And the rain came down, and we all got washed away. Yeah, the rain came down on the hills so brown. But the rain came down, the hills are not so brown now, are they? The bad news is this. And me tent got wet, how are you? When the rain came down in through the window and onto the floor. Yep, I had to lift me zip and open the door so the rain could pour inside some more. Do you know what the next verse of this song is? Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you. And the rain came down over Tamworth town. Yeah, the rain came down on the hills so brown. And the rain came down over Tamworth town. Yeah, the rain came down